Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Oracle of the Week, which will most likely stand instead of Stalker of the Week. Well, if you're new here, you would not know what Stalker of the Week is, but it's a reading I do every week where I look into an energy that has kept popping up across the zodiacs. This week here we're doing it a little bit differently, I have so many Oracle decks. I just got a few new ones here. And what we're going to do is that we're going to look into a soul lesson using the soul cards, and then we have moonology, where we're going to use that deck to clarify past, present, future in regards to that form of soul lesson. We're going to start the reading going in with the intuitive, spiritual messages regarding some kind of soul lesson, clarifying that with moonology. And we have 7 oracles as well, wisdom of the 7, which is each oracle has their own soul to it, right? So and I have laid it out as they align with the 7 and the moonology being the spiritual energies, that which looks into what drives it, what it is about, right? And there we're working intuitively. Then we have wisdom oracle and energy. We're looking into more concrete. I also have my animals out here, and we have tarot, of course, in case that is needed. I will be using the books here because, well, if any of you do not know know the difference with the oracles and how you read oracles and tarot, well, you read them the same way, right? Tarot has more diffuse, and that's why they align better with I was just about to say they align better with spirit animals, but that really depends on how you read and which energies you connect better with, right? And I really connect with the animals. So, and archetypes. But I'm leaving the archetypes out of it today. Anyway, let's get back here. Oracles you read the same way as with tarot, although some oracles can be used as keynotes, such as the soul lesson. I'm using that as a keynote, and a debate purpose for debate here. And this reading is actually going to play out very much like what I do when I do journaling or spiritual work myself, diving deep down, right? And then tarot is used also to clarify if it's needed. So is it a predictive? Yes, because it is predictive in the sense that we look into which path is taking place and where is it going. That's how all predictions work, right? All right. As always, this is a collective message. Because there's no stalker, I am just gonna throw myself into it, right? I have a feeling it ties up to the one from last week, and there's a certain energy that's luring around. And when I did these for myself, it tied up. I kept coming up with this super moon, so awesome. But yeah, it is awesome actually. But that was the messages. Okay. By the way, also another message, because I know who watch these readings, and I'm doing this for you guys. And well, the message here is also that I'm going to be very busy in May. I'm going to give you your monthly May readings coming. I'm going to do some. You can get them this weekend. And while doing them, I'm going to list some stalkers there. So the future stalker readings for May, which I will continue to do stalker every week, right? They will be rooted most likely in the monthly readings. I will probably not be able to do mid-monthly readings. I will continue with the tea of the week, so monthly tea of the week and stalker, and occasionally an all signs if I have the time. Okay, so that's what we get. As I said, we're starting with the overall here with the soul lessons. There's a mantra on it, and I'm still making these mine, right? As I said, I don't know if I said, I will use the books quite a lot here as well, because when you read oracles, it's some you connect to, it's just it happens, right? And then there are others where they are working tools. It benefits working with the book sometimes, because you can see this is what we're using today. These are options, right? But there's quite a lot. So we're starting here with the soul lesson for you guys. Soul lesson for the collective. Just getting started. Soul lesson. All right. Soul lesson. Soul lesson for the collective here. Starting with the overall soul lesson. Message of the soul lesson. Soul lesson. You know, guys, I am just gonna go with the flow, right? And the initial part of this reading, I'm gonna tell you what I got in a minute, but I just want to say I already did one here for myself with this here, right? And it has a particular way of progressing, with the first part of the reading being very much almost like the lesson. Yeah, the soul lesson. We get denial. So let's just roll ourselves in it. Denial. What does it say? I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness, and underneath we have guilt. This guilt. There's something about the guilt. The guilt is very interesting. What is guilt? Guilt is a social emotion we use that has a function. It ties to shame, of course, but guilt is different. Guilt has a function related to keeping a social contracts together, meaning that if we did not have guilt, if we did not have the capacity to feel guilt, which is acknowledging how our actions have hurt someone else, then without that guilt, we will not be able to give an apology. Guilt is what prompts us to take responsibility for our actions and give an apology when due, right? But that's healthy guilt, because guilt tripping is something different. Guilt takes place, I'm just going to throw it out here, as the social contract. But as I said, it has been a social contract. Formal social contracts, different. Basically a non-formal contract. But it's that when you gave a promise to do something, or you had some sort of responsibility. Someone here trusted in you, relied upon you on something here, and you broke that. Then that's where guilt comes in, and you say, I am sorry. That is how you release yourself, by the way, also from that karma, right? That's saying, I'm sorry. It's giving the capacity to give it a sincere apology. Denial. And with guilt here, denial of guilt. Then that's when you postpone, and then probably you keep running into some sort of a broken door or something. We will look into how it plays out, but let's just pull out the book. As I said, these soul lessons are written from a guy who apparently is a medium. They're based in the mediumship, right? So that's not what I am in, but I use them as keynotes. But I'm still actually very interested to see what he wrote about denial. Denial is a coping mechanism. Denial. It's time to open up and be completely honest with yourself at this present moment. Buried fears and resentments do not die. They merely fester and cause disease. By only bringing them to the surface, and examining them in the light of day with love and compassion, will you banish them from life. It may bring you pain and heartache to reflect upon these situations again, but you are only giving them power by suppressing them. The dangerous seeds of denial will grow and spread and manifest unless you uproot them, examine them, and release them. This is the only way to become whole and healthy. Learn not to bury painful emotions in the first place. Deal with them as they come, and take all the time you need to neutralize them without hiding them. Your soul deserves to live honestly and authentically in the now. Don't hinder it by placing emotional landmines on its path. I acknowledge my fear, and I replace it with the insight of an awareness. That is what awareness is about. It's not lying to yourself. Right? We can do that. We can tell little white lies to make things easier for ourselves. Denial. It's not wanting to face something. And denial can also have to do with not wanting to face our own role in a situation. It always takes two to tango, even when the situation is really, really bad. But of course, let's not go there, because I have dealt enough with that betrayal energy for enough days. I'm tired. But denial is, I acknowledge my fear. For instance, you know that we can make excuses for ourselves for why we don't do what we're supposed to do, but where it comes, it's a very fine balance. All I'm trying to say is a fine balance between denial and guilt and shame. Yes, guilt ties to shame, but as I said, guilt needs something, for guilt to be recognized as guilt and not shame. Guilt needs to have an event attached to it where someone else was hurt. Guilt ties up with how our actions affected someone else. That's guilt. We feel guilty for having done something that had a negative effect on someone else. That's guilt. Shame is far more different. That's shaming you for basically being who you are. So guilt, you can tie that up to the masculine energy, as guilt ties up to actions. Shame ties up to being, right? The feminine. We feel guilty for something we did. We feel shame for who we are. In many ways, right? That's the difference here. But it's a fine balance. But denial, we're talking about denial. So let's get to the moonology. Hold on, I'm going to get myself something. I'm going to get some cocoa. Hold on. Alright, just back. I just can't, when I was out there heating up the water, something struck me about this denial. Just going to share that with you. Yes, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Well, I had a conversation with someone about actually guilt and shame. Not going to go into details about the context, or but it was about this denial, about, for instance, that sometimes we can start feeling guilty. We can start shaming ourselves because we feel guilty because of the level of demands that are placed upon us. It actually was a conversation about stress, right? Stress and how stress blocks motivation to get shit done, basically. And that if we have, like, in a performance-driven society, for people who are not predominantly masculine, for who are predominantly feminine in energies, because I didn't say it like that, because different context, but who are more creative, basically, right? More creative of nature as a key personality trait of who they are, right? Remember, the feminine there also tends to be the one who shames, right? Can shame herself, but if you have that nature of you, and then you placed into a performative-driven society, or a context, environment, where the demands are simply just too much and you can't live up to it, because when creative souls are very slower, in the sense that creativity is not just something here, or no original ideas. You don't just bring that forth like this. It's an artistic work process that takes time. In development process, it comes. It's not, you can't just push on a button and then it comes, which is what a performative driven society or context demands of you, right? That does not work like that. But if you have as a demand a social contract, demand by social contract, that you deliver in that way, then you foster guilt. But if you then cannot live up to it, you foster shame and stress and anxiety, right? And that, when I looked at the denial, I just got it. I don't know if it plays out in this, right? I just wanted to point that out. Something that struck me. You can then come into denial about yourself, like that is then shaming becomes a denial about denying parts of yourself because you have to live into that specific context. That's how you result in a burnout. That's reflective skills here. Insight of awareness is in denial, right? Not denying who you are. Understanding and acknowledging who you are as you are, and then also from that you look around and recognize the triggers in your environment that then foster unhealthy feelings of guilt, because if it's guilt where you can't live up to it, because it's not something that can be solved with an apology. If you have to apologize again, if you have to apologize again and again and again, and it stems from not being apology where you apologize for what you did, but for what you did ties up to who you are, then it becomes unhealthy. For instance, that is where you remove yourself from that environment. Of course, this was in relation to work, right? Meaning that career. It was about motivation in work, but all that. But it just popped up here. But it is very much also, I would tie it up to probably also be related, something you can use in terms of romantic relationships. But as you can probably guess, I am far more used to working with business than I am with I'm not a love coach. But the mechanism can play out both ways. Let's start here with the moonology. Let's look into the past present. What do we have for the past here, Nicolette? Past. South Node. Do not let your past hold you back. The South Node. Oh, the South Node. Did that not just come in Capricorn? Well, hallelujah. I don't know much about the South. Alright. Present. I'm gonna lay them out and then we're gonna talk. Show me the present. There we have blue moon. Once in a blue moon, you believed in the impossible. What's in the present? Oh, future coming up for you there. We have full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. And then we have that super moon. I knew the super moon was gonna come. What is the super moon? There's something about the super moon. This deck, I got it yesterday. Started using it today. Tested it. The super moon keeps popping up. Look, super moon in Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio. And a fixed moon. Oh my god. Now I ain't no astrologer, right? But I knew that we had a super moon in Scorpio the other day, and I was actually out walking and I looked up and it's like, I'm not feeling it, the effect of it. It's beautiful. I was so peaceful. Right? And it's like, nothing. It's like nothing. I was expecting like gonna feel something. It's like, that's nothing. I don't even want to go into what happens today. I just don't even want to talk about it. But the super moon has to do with your emotions running high. The moon in Scorpio is probably right. So let's just rip up all wounds and look at them deeply. Nothing there being hidden, nothing in denial anymore. We're denied what is what we have in the present, what we see, what has actualized has actualized at, while something else has been denied or rejected. Denial, rejection doesn't really go. Denial, all right, let's say like this. Denial is not about having something in the darkness. It's something that is actually there. It's like the elephant in the room, but it's not being addressed. That's denial. All right. Anywho, let's pick up this book here and start by the South Node. The South Node is very much about karma, I suppose. Let's see here the karma. The show is South Node. South Node. Well, just to finish off the super moon, it has a lot to do with the emotions running very high, as it says there, but it's felt. It's felt, and it can be good, it can be bad. It really depends on what needed to be looked at. But with denial, all right. But let's see. Show me that South Node. Come on. Show me the South Node. South Node. South Node is like the North Node. South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point. It's the opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you are asking about has become suffocating and even toxic. It suggests that someone, perhaps even you, needs to be released. There's a kind of addiction going on, or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, that when you get this card, you're challenged to make some changes, even if you feel safer in whatever it is that you're in. So with the South Node here, coming up with denial and guilt, it screams to karma. All right, maybe it's that why I'm feeling so pulled towards karma these days. Like karma. Normally I don't care. I don't give a shit about karma. These days, I mean, I'm all about it. Karma. Not that I have an idea about what karma is. It's past conditioning. That's how I always address karma, is past conditioning. But it's also due to others what you want to be done to you. Right? But don't let the past hold you back. In the past, there's something here that has been holding you back. But in the blue moon, this is not alright. The blue moon has to do with making a wish. It's once upon a time you get to make a wish here. And then we look at the full moon coming up for you. Full moon in Leo, which has don't let pride get in your way. This is not a... I actually feel as though I'm reading for the build-up of a tower. This is a collective energy, okay? I don't know who this will attach to. I'm just going to read the energies as they are. Denial, guilt, being held back in a toxic connection here. There's a tie, an energetic cord here. That I get someone here is holding on. They're holding on for dear life to something that is best served let go. And I got so hungry right there. Oh my god, I got hungry. My body is screaming at me today. It has a headache, it's thirsty, it's hungry. Alright, makes sense. Yeah, and I'm moody. It makes sense. It's the werewolf time. So yeah, the blue moon is. I honestly, I get a little bit, of wishing for something. Because, oh my God, I'm gonna lay out more cards. I'm just intuitively getting here. There is, for one part, is like living up to responsibilities. That of denying parts of oneself. But I'm also I'm getting this annoying energy that always pops up, but I'm really trying to get rid of, because I'm annoyed by it. But it's it's almost like that maiden hope of dreams, of believing that this will come together. But with the full moon in Leo, it screams that there's something here of an ego. No, I'm always a fan of the ego, okay? But because the ego keeps you safe. Without the ego, you're gonna float everywhere. I know it's like, oh, love and light, flight over, blah. Yeah, but you know what? Put me into a room with people who are all about love and light, and I will run away screaming. Sorry, but that's just boundaries, guys. Boundaries. That's what the ego is. It's boundaries. It's just a matter of having a flexible ego, right? Sometimes the ego will not want to let go. The ego has to be able to let go as well. It has to be like a bouncing box, right? More like, it's not a square box, more like a flexible. But it's still, those boundaries are still there. Think of it like a bubble or something like that. You can envision it as it is. But with that, let's look into this Leo here, moon. It's coming up for a full moon in Leo. I'm sorry, it's going to be a long reading. I don't give a shit. Full moon in Leo. Full moon in Leo. Letting pride becoming an obstacle. Are you doing things from your ego or from your heart? Energy is magnificent. Full moon. Yeah, oh my God, this I just get here. If you have not been doing as you should have been doing by lately, this is time to find a balance between your needs and the needs of the people around you. This will help all your relationships. This is, yeah, it is that, are you also doing things to benefit others, or you're doing it just to benefit yourself sometimes? It's a harsh message. It's a harsh message, I know. Let's pull out this one here. Close encounters in the past, and we have in the present, we have bearing fruit, and we have seeing beyond in coming up for you. Sacred revenants here, emotions running high, this and working through your fears and royal you. I'm gonna lay this out in a minute. Everything here screams that there's a karmic connection in the past that keeps someone caged. But those that gate there is a matter of breaking that. Something here is bearing fruit. It's almost like an opportunity is being granted to you at the present moment. But if you deny that opportunity to do something here, be mindful of that. There's going to be a situation coming up here where pride will be tested instead of letting go and seeing beyond, really letting this go. It's almost like being stuck on the karmic hamster wheel for some reason or another. That close encounters. You know what? Let me read that, because I remember the close encounter having some very interesting aspects to it. That of creating one's own prison, almost. Close encounter is vulnerability as a strength, and letting others see your wounds as your strength and setting healthy boundaries. It's a time of connection that asks you to be vulnerable and authentic and let go of any social mask and constructs you use to keep yourself apart from others. When you become close to people, you're reminded that you are not alone and all of that. Blah, blah, blah. When opportunity allows, yes, it has to do with vulnerability. There's more connection to be truly present. We are not meant to be alone. For some of you, don't let your past hold you back. Some of you are actually being held back by a karmic connection and deciding to stay in that cage, even if it brings you pain. I cannot believe I'm gonna say this. It's almost that of saying, I don't want to take any more chances because of what happened in the past. Believe in the impossible and bearing fruit. Bearing fruit. It's almost like I'm looking at the Empress here. What is that Empress about? Well, I keep calling it the Empress. It's not the Empress. It's the bearing fruit. Resource of hard work. If your life was a tree, what fruit would it bear? Oh, what is one of those? Envision the results of the efforts you put into achieving your dreams and desires and blah blah blah. Oh, it's basically a reminder saying whatever it is that you place attention into is what it is. Where you place your attention is what you will manifest. So if you are believing in miracles and you're manifesting in miracles, but remember to make them realistic in some way or another. Right? You do have an opportunity here. It's like there's a window of opportunity that's open to manifest something powerful. But are you denying that window of opportunity because you are focusing on manifesting something karmic? You're repeating the same shit. Seeing beyond is the capacity to break free from this and make room for new experiences. But that also includes to open up new experience, to open up the gates for a new experience, to open up your heart to a new experience. It's not easy. Right? It is not easy because that entails that you have to really use that third eye to see something, to see the possibility of something playing out differently next time. And if all you met was shit, that's different. That's difficult because then you go, all right, what's the point of it? What's the point? You basically run into a hamster wheel of confirmation bias here. You see what you want to see, but you do so based on past experiences, right? And unfortunately, because it's such a difficult wheel to break, because if you did it before and it happened again, it's that, and then someone here comes and tells you, oh, but you can see it can play out differently. Yeah, but it did not do that last time. So it is a difficult thing to do. There are also certain exercises one can do here to work on a blocked heart, but I cannot go over that because that would take too long. But there are specific exercises to do. So let's see how it can play out here in terms of events. So all of this has a lot to do with, yeah. There's something karmic here in the past. Alright, let's see how it plays out when we go under the deck. Let's lay these out. In the past here we have between worlds. I mean, this is like a very transformative situation that played out for you. It was of service to you, but apparently it may have wounded you. You may be in denial about seeing that this was actually a blessing in disguise for you. Especially if it has left you wounded to say you no longer believe that that the impossible is possible. Exchanging gifts. Oh my god. Exchanging gifts in what's coming up for you in the future. What the fuck is that about? Seeing beyond, exchanging gifts. Don't let pride get in your way. I'm actually getting that some of you may be actually getting an apology and you're not going. Something that's going to be given to you, and your pride may. I really get it, and now I get this about giving that apology, and accepting it. I get now that the art there of taking accountability for someone's actions, be it you or whoever, I don't know. It's just that taking accountability, right? Whoever, both, one, I don't know, taking accountability, that is being denied right now. It's almost because, see, that's the thing, when you have to take accountability, you have to make yourself vulnerable. And I actually get, so someone here didn't want to open up. But you see, it's a blessing. I don't know, for some reason or another, what happened here is a blessing. And right now your energies in the current moment are so powerful, but they are being denied for some reason. And that, be mindful of that. That there are not going to be any lost opportunities here. It's almost like there's a golden opportunity here to take accountability. But if pride does not just prevent that, karma. What else? But all that goes both ways, right? I don't know whoever writes. I get this is that of saying, of wanting to take accountability and saying I'm sorry. For whatever, even if it meant I forgot to buy the milk. I don't know, it can play out differently, right? But right now I just see this powerful window of opportunity. So what do we have here? Past, we have deceit. I mean, come on, and the temple path, right? And we have present, the sun, future, blossoming abundance. I'm getting, like, again, these two-folded stories. Come on. The past situation here is so awful. It's karma beyond. It's karma. It's deceit. Okay, it's lying. It's stealing. It's someone working behind the shadow. I mean, look at this beast. Can't even look at this shit working behind the shadows. I don't even want to look at it. I get triggered by that. But as I said here, something here is something here is in the light. Let's look into this bless here, because something is in the light, and that opens up a window of opportunity, almost like a miracle. But is it going to be accepted? I'm not so sure, because I see pride getting in the way. But it could also be that you're not letting something go, right? It might be you having the opportunity to manifest something new in, and you're not letting go. Something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, an unforeseen gift from spirit. There are moments in life where out of the blue it seems that everything has been orchestrated by intervention, and you feel blessed. Let's see parts. This is an opportunity for intimacy. It is really what I'm getting here. Two people. It's almost like making amends. I don't know, it can play out differently, right? It could be some people having had an argument. It's basically reconciliation, in the sense that reconciliation, you don't have to be like in separation or anything. It can just be that you had a very bad argument. But it's that of feeling guilt, because that's also needed in when you are reconciling. The feeling of guilt, of recognizing how both of you played out here. And blossoming abundance is an opportunity in the future. That ties up with looking into this. I get this conversation about the future. Of exchanging, of giving of yourself, being vulnerable, because that's your window of opportunity right now, is being vulnerable. And letting someone see your true color. But it's someone here has a choice of well, both people have a choice of being vulnerable, but I also get specifically the one who is receiving the vulnerability, they have a choice of also being vulnerable. And if they let their pride get in the way, I will say it's that bad. That's their loss. Right? For some, these, hopefully this is two people who will then come together and find peace in that apology. But let's see what we have underneath the deck. We have, as I said, guilt. I already went through it. Sacred reverence, which is that of autonomy and seeing differences. Emotions are running high, as I said here. Because I keep seeing the King of Wands here, of that King of Wands being terrified of someone being codependent on them. But that's what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on someone here with the Leo energy right there, right? I get someone's ego being in the way, too big of an ego, and that could be mindful of that, right? Someone here is they're going to be asked to take a chance, and it's actually a good thing, because there's a respect for differences in it, but the emotions are so high. And the temple path is a very long spiritual journey. I get this is not wanting to give an apology. Let's do 2 more of this. Where we have success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. It's basically saying that what are the criteria for success in your life, basically. What will be successful for you? According to this medium, it is when you die. It's like, what will you don't bring wealth and riches with you when you die. Right? What will you like to look back upon at your deathbed and say, I had success in that? What brings you happiness here? Meaning that, is success something attached to material goods, or is it to have loved and be loved in return, authentically? And there's a difference between, because that's the thing. People can be loved like a material good, but when you love people as material goods, you will most likely also be loved in return as a material good. That's a difference between what I would say fake love and unconditional love. Meaning that they love you as long as you're good for them, what you provide for them. They won't stand by you when you lose your job. They won't stand by you in times of need. When you no longer have that money, or that specialness, they're not there. They will not be there when you lose your capacity to bring in that specific income or something like that. And then what we have here, we have work through your fears. Also get that supermoon there. What is that fear holds you back? You have a lot of power inside yourself. But as I get here, time is ticking regarding something that was in the past. Tick tock, tick tock. For some of you, it's you losing your patience with someone. Alright, the last one, as I said, regeneration. Strong Scorpio energy in this, guys. Everything screams Scorpio. Supermoon Scorpio. Regeneration, that's letting something go. Something here, oh my god, letting go. It's patience has probably been served here. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I'm seeing the earth burn. Something also about Leo season here, right? Regeneration. Patience. Someone here has had the patience to look inside themselves. Someone here is being reborn. Again, as though the timeline here was already happening. There's a rebirth occurring here. And someone here is fixed on the vision that they have for them in their life. And if something here is not careful, it's being let go. I get this is a massive warning for someone's ego. Let's do the quick tarot to fix it. Or let's give me a spirit animal for you in the past. That's the phoenix against screaming Scorpio, okay? Cleaning up, rise like a phoenix in the present moment. You have enough water in your belly to keep yourself going for a long time if you need to. And that's what brings you this powerful manifestation mode, in that you can manifest what you want coming up for you. That's this truth being spoken. The events outside of you in the past. Unconditional love. An opportunity for the love here to open up. I really get in your own life, you went on some kind of a cleaning journey here. In the present, outside of you. There's love. There is absolutely love outside of you here. I'm actually seeing the event here having a lot of love. See, now it switches as though you again, but then again, place yourself in the role. I feel as though I'm reading for someone who owes an apology, but I don't know. What's the future there? Clean up. Oh my god, this is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. It's basically someone shows up as your environment, okay? I'm just gonna say it. But you place yourself It's basically the opposite happening. Starting very as though you clean out your shit here. You have enough strength to keep you going, but you're gonna find yourself humble and truth being spoken to you from an unknown source suddenly. It's almost like a child telling you something. And then the event outside of you which had unconditional love here. And still unconditional, like the warmth and nurturing of a mother, which is like, it's a miracle. This is a strong feminine energy in the environment here. These are all feminine energies. I know the panther appears in this deck here to be masculine, but as an energy, as I pick up on, the panther is actually feminine. It's the feminine, like the tiger here, right? Who's had enough. So let's get the tarot and then we're done. In the past, just quickly sum it up. Three of Swords. Alright, that's why tarot is so more effective than oracles, but I love it. Three of Swords and Nine of Cups. Judgment. We have a broken heart, but someone here wished to have a broken heart, so and then it's to I see pain related to. I do get this. All right, you know what? Sorry, as I said already, it is this karmic connection here that has so much pain in it, but it has it. Someone here wanted it to come into their life. Maybe they wished back then to make room for something new, and then before they could go there, they needed to clean this shit out. What do we have present here? It's like someone here coming. Something came back here as a karmic, cleaning it out. Present, Sun, Strength, Son of Cups. This is what is being manifested. Things are coming into the light. I don't know, someone's manifesting a Leo. Or someone with a moon in Leo. I'm seeing strong Leo there, right? But it is that of holding, of controlling oneself. But I am also getting this diplomacy. There is... I still get this apology. What's going to happen here in the future? Ten of Swords. Done. The Chariot. The Fool. It's done. This is a headache. This is a headache. I really get as though the best. That's the thing. If someone here is waiting around for someone to come back and do the right thing, be mindful that you're not in denial about that. This is a headache. This is a blocked path. And this is this is liberation, but only if you decided to be liberation. Right now, yeah, maybe that is where we have you as the event outside of you. The panther could be what is prompting you. It's almost like a truth is being spoken here. It's someone's got to be careful here not to have self-destructive behaviors in this process. There was a heaviness. Karma. Karma is going to return the favor. Alright, that is what I have for you. We had denial. We went on a journey here on denial. Maybe I should do another one because denial is not the best one. Alright, but... I replace my fear. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. What are you not seeing? Because that which you are not seeing, it will come back here. Alright, that's what I have. I will see you next time. Ciao, guys.